You've no doubt been looking at houses for quite a while online now, and hopefully you've gotten out and actually looked at a few in person. And if you've narrowed it down to the one house that most suits your needs, then you're probably ready to put an offer in. You should already have a pre-approval at this point. You should know what type of financing you're going to go with, as well as what seller assistance you may be asking for. I'm not really going to dig into the agreement of sale too much today. I do have that here with me, and you can find your own copy on my website, Levi, Clevenger-Realtor.com. If you go into the resources tab and click on common forms, it's listed in there if you want to take a read down through that. What I want to dig into today is some of the things that you might want to consider whenever you're putting an offer in on a home. Probably the number one thing is going to be purchase price. You do want to make sure that you're not overpaying for your home, and your agent should be particularly helpful in this department. They should be able to help you determine what a reasonable offer is on the home. One thing I say when it comes to the purchase price of a home is to my clients, you've been out there looking at houses, you know the price ranges, you know what you can get for a certain amount of money. If you have two houses at $150,000, which one of those do you like more? Maybe there are two different architectural styles. Maybe one's a Cape Cod, maybe one's a rancher, and you think maybe one isn't worth quite as much as the other for some reason. But really, it just comes down to what is it worth to you? Does it suit your criteria? Does it suit your needs? Whatever you find important in a home, that's the one you're going to go after. So you don't want to overpay for a home, but I think sometimes the most important thing is, what is the home worth to you, and what are you willing to pay for it? Because that's what really determines market value. If you have two people put an offer in on a home for a similar price, that's about what it's worth, because that's what the market is saying we're willing to pay for this home. So purchase price is probably the number one thing. One thing you should really consider when going into making an offer is what inspections you're going to get. You will have to elect different inspections in this agreement, and once it's submitted, it's final. You can't make any changes to that. I have had people come back after we had an accepted agreement of sale, and at that point a legally binding contract, and they're like, Levi, I think I want this particular inspection. And unfortunately, at that point, there's nothing you can do about it. So make sure you carefully consider what type of inspections you want. And again, you can download that form and read through there, and then do some independent research onto which type of inspections are important to you. Is it mold, radon, general household inspection, water, sewer? I think there's 9 different types of inspections listed on there, and you can fill in your own at the bottom. So number one, purchase price. Number two, what type of inspections do you want to get? There's a lot of dates that come into play whenever you are writing an offer. Probably the most prevalent is settlement possession date. How soon do you want to settle on the property, and how soon can the lender have the financing? There is a mortgage commitment date in there. That's the date when the lender is supposed to be fully committed to the loan. They should know for absolute certainty that they can provide you with the funds at that point. So really get with your lender on picking that date to make sure that you allow enough time there, because if your lender is not ready by the agreed upon date, sellers could potentially walk away from the sale. So you really don't want to give them an excuse to allow that to happen. Whenever you do sign the offer as well, the clock starts ticking, or rather not when you sign it, but when you have an accepted agreement of sale, the clock starts ticking. You only have maybe 10 days to get your inspections done unless there's another agreed upon date. So you want to order those inspections right away, because there's a possibility that the inspector won't be able to get out there right away. So get that ordered. You also want to get an appraisal order. That's something that is usually done through your lender, so check with them on that. And then, after your inspections are done, after the property is appraised, there's a time period of a couple days there for you to renegotiate if needed. If the home inspection comes back and there's a lot of damage to the house that you didn't realize or wasn't disclosed, you can renegotiate at that point, or you can potentially consider when putting together an offer, you do want to make it as strong as possible. You have a list of things that are very important to you, and you want to make sure you get those, but you do have to offer something to the seller as an incentive to accept your offer, especially when you're competing with another offer. And that's where an earnest money deposit check comes into play. That's a check that you submit along with your offer for any amount, maybe a few $1,000s, and it's just saying, hey, if I get cold feet and walk away from this transaction, just go ahead and keep that money right there. Yeah, that's yours to keep. And that's just some extra reassurance for the sellers, because they're taking their home off the market and they're entering into an agreement with you for a certain period of time, and they want to make sure that you're a serious home buyer. So that earnest money deposit check really goes a long way with that. If for some reason the property would not appraise for the asking price, or maybe there is an issue with the home inspections or one of the contingencies that you elect, you can get out of the offer to purchase and cancel that, and that earnest money deposit check will be returned to you. It really only gets awarded to the sellers if you violate the terms of the agreement of sale. So if you have any questions for me, if you're looking for a good agent maybe to help you buy your next home, just contact me. You can get me through email, lclevenger@homesale.com. If you want to check me out on the web, you can find me there at Levi-Realtor.com. You can also join the conversation on Facebook at